Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
He is the medium at large. I always wanted to do that.
I love the suspense and the
Almost like you ever see the movie trailers back in the day? In a world where people are looking for answers, he's got them from the other side. He is the medium at large. I know I'm being crazy silly here, but he really is an amazing psychic medium, and that's what he goes by, themediumatlarge.com. Mike Hogan is back on the program with us. Hey, Mike.
Good afternoon. How are we doing today?
I'm silly, giddy, but good. I think maybe it's because it's Friday.
Yeah, and what we have to do is we have to let loose every once in a while, or we just get too pent up, and it just gets us crazy, and we feel that, oh, I can't smile anymore. But yeah, I tell you what, it's fun. Life, we need to have more fun in our life without being mean and nasty.
I always say I'm a big kid having fun. That's it.
One of these days I'm going to grow up.
And then there's that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've talked about a lot of things in the past about how you connect with the other side and spirit guides and the process, but you're actually working on something centering around spirituality. And that's a word that's coming up more and more, where I think people are, or they think that they're feeling more spiritual, but really what is spiritual? How would you define it?
I feel that I define it as being in tune with the universe, being in tune with yourself, being in tune with your guides and angels. We listen to ourselves more. We listen to others talk more and gain information on it's okay to feel like this. It's okay to attend a church, but not be so religious in the way that it's being done. There's basically no specifics in with spirituality. Spirituality is feelings, and that's what we need to get inside. Is we need to recognize our feelings and work on them. If it, oh gosh, this was really, really exciting. This was really feeling good. And that's how we become more spiritual.
It's funny when you take that word, as you're saying it, I'm getting a visual of when a school, like high school, middle school, hey, it's Spirit Week. Well, what is that? That's a feeling. It's a feeling of unity, a feeling of togetherness. Just we're happy to be here. We're celebrating, let's say, the football team starting a new season. It's Spirit Week. And I think it kind of goes along the same way, where that's a feeling that you have inside. Not necessarily religious connected, but it can be if that's what you want to connect it to and that's what you want to feel.
Exactly. And that's what it is that I know the spiritual churches, they actually have a spiritual church. And what they're some of the things is that some of the what they have available is what we talk about every day we go through, is that what we do is if we feel that it's not properly, it's ours to correct. We take responsibility for our actions. We don't blame it on the universe. We don't blame it on anybody else. We accept the responsibility and change with it. We get closer to the universe. This way, if we recognize that we perceive that we've done wrong, then it's not for others to say, okay, it's you, unless it's against, quote, the law. So that's how we look at it in the spiritualist church.
When you say the word universe, and I use that one all the time, that the universe is going to take care of you, or if the universe is telling me something. How do you define universe?
Well, I define it basically as our God source, the energy that's out there. We have a never ending energy that comes through from outside of our planet. We have our plants and energy that's embedded in our planet that we can use, our stones, our crystals, our gemstones, our healing herbs, and the food that we eat is all imbibed from that energy that's from outside the earth that came to form it. Now, the energy that we receive comes through our atmosphere also.
Hmm. It's funny. I had this conversation with a friend, and I said the word universe, and she says, "Well, don't you realize that God created the universe? So it's really you're talking about God." Debatable. It depends on whatever you want to believe, and I'm not saying I don't believe in God, but my journey look at the universe in a maybe a different way. As look at the word spirit in a different way, where some people might look at more religiously.
Yeah. The thing is that, okay, we have our own God source who we believe, everybody believes in a God source, whether it be the universal energy, whether it be the universe itself, a conglomeration of beings out there, how we perceive them as our God source. And we use that to put our values in. And that's where a lot of people, nowadays they don't believe, or some people don't believe um, that other people's religion has the values that they believe in, and we have our own personal outlook on that.
Now you're working on a class or a course surrounding spirituality, right?
Yes, I just put that up on my website this week. I will be setting up dates, probably, maybe 3 times a month, um, probably like on a second Saturday, Sunday, and a Thursday evening or something. And that way, if you're interested, I will have Zoom meetings and just talk about different things, explain things how I see them, and everybody can chime in and bring in their own opinions also.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's the time. I really do. I think call it the end of COVID or whatever you want to call it, but I think there's a more of awakening with a lot of us just getting a little deeper inside and realizing that we can't just keep going through life like robots. There's more to it than that. And I think people are they're opening their eyes to that now.
And I think, and honestly, I think COVID did open our eyes to the how fragile our human body is, and how quickly we can leave it.
Yeah.
So now they're looking for something that says, okay, what can I do or believe more on how things happen and how things will look in a different point of view on our next life.
How did this all begin for you, Mike? Where did you realize that you had some ability, you were more connected spiritually? Where was like the aha moment where you said, wait a minute, I'm feeling something different and I've got proof that I've got some kind of ability here.
Well, that the ability started probably about 15 years ago when a friend of ours, we had her down for one of our anniversaries, my wife and I's anniversary, and she was down giving readings. And she says, I want to attend a church while I'm down here. And I was really not in the best frame of mind for Christianity because of being involved in churches so much. I was involved um, with the councils and things like that, and I just shrugged it off because I know how people are and how people act. And so we went to a spiritualist church that morning, and I liked it, and we started going there until we moved down to North Carolina. And that's how, and they told me that I had gifts. And I says, okay. Uh, oh, yeah, right, sure. So I took classes that they offered and expanded my knowledge of spirituality and getting involved with readings and getting to talk to the other side. But originally, I've always felt connected spiritually since I've been young. I've always felt um, a good rapport with my God source, and I've always felt that it was there, and I could also feel other people's energies when they were happy, sad, angry. I would stay away from them, and just go with the go with whatever I felt that was right for me.
I've often heard that we all have some kind of ability. We're all intuitive, but some of us are more in tune with it than others. What's your suggestion for anybody that wants to take that a little bit deeper? How do you open yourself up to receive more messages, to see things, to feel people in terms of their emotions?
Actually, what it is that a lot of it has to do with listening to your own mind. You talk to yourself, well, should I do this or should I do that? And listen for an answer. And the answer will either come in as a nice little nudge or a slap in the face. Um, you know, anything that goes on, your guides and angels will help you answer the questions. They will also go ahead and give you directions on where you should look at things. My suggestion right now is that I was just at a expo a few weeks ago, and I told people to go ahead and look up this book and purchase it if they want. It's called The Celestine Prophecy,
Hmm.
and it goes. There's um, 9 prophecies in this. Basically, it's a nice short story, easy read, and it shows on like the synchronicity of things. Well, synchronicity is not random. It happens in your life to have people that you meet bring you up to
Hmm.
a certain level, and then it shows how it goes on and shows these nine things. And I that's what I used when I first started to understand spirituality.
I love what you just said because it sounds in line with what I think, and many others do, that there's no coincidences. So that synchronicity, it's supposed to happen. Like when you meet somebody or somebody's in your life, and there's always that phrase, they're there for a season or a reason. They've been placed in your life, and likewise you in other lives, because you're supposed to be there, whether you're helping them, teaching them, showing them, whatever it might be. Do you believe that?
Oh, most definitely. um, there are people that I've in fact uh, about a month ago I was at another expo and I met this gentleman. We did not get the boost that we wanted, and we were put side by side, and him and I have now got together and we're going to be doing a maybe once a month or once every other month we're going to be doing classes. He teaches one thing and he's setting up small expos, and it was just a chance meeting. We got to talking, and so boom, there's another opening. And
Yeah.
when we start listening and doing that, we'll have more things that come into our lives, and when we start recognizing them.
How do you make yourself open to receive those? Because a lot of us miss the signs. There might be things in front of you, or is it just you got to quiet your mind and be open to it? And I think I'm better at it, but I'm not at that point where I believe I'm probably missing a lot because there's too much going on in life. but I want to see everything. I don't want to miss a sign. I don't want to miss, call it an opportunity, whatever it might be.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing is that okay, we do miss a lot of signs, but if you find that you see things over and over, a lot of times they tell you, okay, if you see things the third time, second or third time, okay, pay attention to it. Okay. The quietness instead of having all the noise in your life, cranking up the radio or whatever, and just zoning out. Well, that's that clouds your mind a little bit. But if we can be quiet and actually sit and listen to people, I do a lot of listening in the grocery stores when I'm in the food, checking out line or something, and I happen to say something to somebody, or I hear something that needs to be addressed, or just say something, and you meet people that need to be in your path, or you need to be in their path.
Hmm. I can share a couple of things with you based on what you just said, even to back it up. So I had a Reiki session about 2 days ago, and it was a friend of a friend, and she said that, I just want to share this with you. I'm getting an elephant. Like, I'm getting the visual of an elephant, and I believe that's your mom sending that to tell you, because the elephant is strong. She's telling you to be strong and just move forward, but be strong about situations in your life. I was like, okay, take it with a grain of salt. All right. I'm at the gym today, like a couple hours ago, and there's a girl working out near me, and on her arm is a huge tattoo of an elephant. And like, most people don't have tattoos of elephants. So I woke up and I say, I gotta share this with you. Why do you have an elephant tattoo? She goes, it's my favorite animal, and they're big and strong. And I'm like, well, here's why I'm walking over to you. I don't think that was a coincidence at all.
It's a reminder. Okay, that is validation of the message that you got earlier.
I believe so. I truly, truly believe it. And I'll go even one layer deeper. I was thinking about my mom asking for some prayers, inspiration, whatever. She passed like 3 years ago. Um, I get in my car and I'm driving, and there's a truck in front of me. And on the back of the truck, it says Marvin. And there's a company that makes Marvin windows. Well, when I was a kid, she used to call me Marvin because I was into drawing cartoons, and there was a comic strip called Marvin. But wait, I mean, okay, but wait, next to the words Marvin was a logo, and it was like a flower, like a rose. And my mom's name is Rose.
Mm, yep.
So it's, some people can say, oh, a coincidence. I'm sorry. I was vibing her. I was thinking it, got in my car, and bam, there it is. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thanks, mom.
And that's the whole thing. Um, that is just when you recognize things. Naysayers say, well, I don't believe in this. Okay, you don't believe in it.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't care. I do. And it just so happens, those little things like that. Okay, you asked mom for a message, and she gave you one.
Yeah.
In fact, she gave you two. She put it out there, and then she put the Marvin on there, and then she put the other the rose, and saying that it was from her. Okay, now that you've had the message, and then you moved on, so now what it's saying is be strong again.
It's You could punch holes in that if you want, if you're skeptical. It's not that I choose not to. It's there. It's there in front of me. I got nothing else. Especially if it's just the word Marvin. Whatever, coincidence. But then the logo of the rose, literally right next to it. Nothing on the van, except that on the back of that van. Uh, I'm taking that. I think that's a real deal.
And that's what a lot of people miss that because it's subtle.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's very it doesn't come up in a big flashing neon sign. It's one of those things that say, okay, okay, well, oh, mom used to call me this. It rings a bell and say, okay, now my mom, she leaves me pennies. Whenever I find a penny, I pick it up and I said, "Thank you, Mom." I says, "What do you need to tell me?" And then I sit back and whatever comes up, comes up. Now, my dad, who she divorced, leaves me dimes because he has to outdo my mother. So I ask him what things I can remember, what he needs to tell me. And my stepfather used to leaves me nuts, bolts, and washers because we used to fix things together. And we used to always have the coffee cans of nuts, bolts, and washers, so that when he's around, I see, well, what do I need? What do I need to recognize from that?
I find that interesting, Mike, and by the way, we're talking with the medium at large, Mike Hogan. I find it interesting that those things being left by your mom, your dad, your stepdad, it's almost like the phone ringing. That's the phone ringing. And now you got to pick up the phone to find out what they want to tell you. So it's almost as if they're getting your attention.
Right. Oh, it is. It's better than a slap upside the head with a hammer.
True. Or fall on your butt walking outside. Hey, thanks.
That's true. Exactly. But that's the whole thing, is that if we look for little signs, okay, it's nice. It's reminder that they're still around us and that they're still helping us in our lives to help us either make a decision or lead us in a path that we need to go, or just to remember them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big believer in just asking. You ask and you'll get it. Ask for the sign. It's okay. What do you got to lose?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You don't have anything to lose. It's just one of those things that, okay, you hear something, you recognize it, and then all of a sudden something comes up and you say, "Oh, well, that's what that meant." Okay. This is when now you're looking for things. When little things pop up that, that mom or dad or somebody that's passed, reminds you. And then now you can look for things that, okay, what, do I need to go fishing? Because my stepdad and I used to go fishing all the time. Just little things like that. Or do I need a break? Do I need to slow down? Or, something like that.
Wow. When you see those signs from them, do you see something after that, or do you get a message, after they got your attention?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes it's just if something is a miss or things like that, it'll basically like a little warning or something to look out for. Okay, if the traffic is, horrible, okay, I need to slow down. I need to not be concerned so much. And it's basically letting me know that, okay, this is what's happening in my life. And I need to, do check and see what I need to reboot.
So with the last couple of minutes, I'm really curious about this. You do readings for people. You can often connect to the other side. Is it easier to connect with the other side for other people than it is with your own family members?
Yes. I get, like I said, I get little messages here and there, but, I have to look at it. But when I'm talking to someone, and if whoever wants to come in for them, see, it's not, I want to hear from my mother or something like that. She may not be available to chime in, but someone else in the family comes in and talks to them, and it's because I prepare for it, and it works out a little bit better when I prepare for it, when I know something's coming in.
When you say prepare for it, how do you mean?
A little bit of meditations, think on think about the person that's coming in, that's scheduled a meeting, or just, opening up and letting things come in and drain let my thoughts not be on one certain thing or what I have to do. What do I need? What needs to come in and who needs to say it? And, because when I do a reading like that, I give my clients everything that comes in, whether I know what it means or not. And that's the whole thing. Well, it doesn't mean anything to me. Why should I tell? Well, no, it's for them and not for me.
Right. Yeah. It's why would you hold anything back?
Yeah.
You don't know. It could be significant.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. So and so said, or this is what I'm hearing. What about the bathroom incident? And all of a sudden, to me, nothing comes to my mind. Okay. Oh, well, I know exactly who that is, and this is what this is what it means. And okay. That's great.
You weren't there. You weren't in the bathroom at that time.
That's right. Exactly.
Mike, we're just about out of time. If anybody wants to reach out to you, that super simple, themediumatlarge.com. And you said on the website you have that class or course or gathering for spirituality.
Yes, most definitely. And I'm also going to be doing a TikTok and YouTube videos each day for one card reading, and it's going to be what I mean for the day, and it'll be posted every day.
Oh, sort of like the card of the day.
Yeah, the card of the day. I do. If you on Facebook, you can go to Helpful Hints to Live By, and I post a inspirational meeting or meeting. Yeah, I'm okay. One of these days I'll learn how to talk. An inspirational message each day. Nice. From one of my guides. So
yeah, and I love that. We could all use that, and especially when it comes from source, universe, whatever you want to call it. There's a reason that you're getting it, and there's a reason that you need to share it. Thanks again, Mike, for being here. Have a great weekend.
You too, Steve. You take care of yourself.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.